Good morning, dear listeners. Today we come to the new episode of the No Age Ontology podcast series based on my book, No Age Ontology, a compendium of spiritual and wisdom teachings pointing out the timelessness of all phenomena. And today we speak about the 12 links of dependent origination within conditioned existence. This concept of the 12 links is closely related to the law of cause and effects, which we already spoken about in a previous podcast. And this is a key concept in Buddhism, and it describes the cycle of suffering and the causes of birth, death, and rebirth. So according to this analysis, existence is characterized by a continuous process of causes and effects which are interdependently linked with each other, where each link is the chain depends on the preceding one and leads to the next. So the 12 links of dependent originations are as follows. So the first one is the ignorance of timeless reality, and this is the starting point of existence. So this means that not understanding the essential nature of reality as an identityless expanse of mind of pure being, and the delusion of mistakenly perceiving the five psychophysical aggregates as an independent self-entity. So basically the mind of pure being gets confused into perceiving itself, its own appearances, as an independent self-entity, as a subject, and different aggregates, and as perceiving objects. So both subject and objects become self-identified. So this is the first step into existence. Then after this there is volitional actions, formations. So this is the mental action intention that shapes one's experiences and create karma. So karma means actions based on self-grasping. So once the mind of pure being becomes entangled into grasping at subjects and objects, then there is a volitional formation of actions, and which is karma. So as long as there is ignorance of the nature of reality, there is formation of karma, positive, negative, or neutral karma. So that could be mental actions, speech actions, or actions with one's own body. And then there is consciousness, which is the continuity of the mind stream that serves as the basis of the imprints of the karma or actions. The consciousness that is led to the particular state or birth once the conditions have come together is known as the consciousness of the impelled results. Then there is names and forms, which means that by the power of consciousness and self-grasping, one is linked to a new birth and the body, or the form and the other name group of sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness, plus the sense organs. These are the five aggregates in Buddhism. So then we have the six sense faculties. These are the six inner sense faculties that arise in conjunction with the birth formation. Then the contact is the coming together of objects, sense faculties, and consciousness in as contact with each other. Then we have feeling. So from contact arises sensation, which can be pleasurable, painful, or neutral. And then there is craving, so which is desire not to be separated from the pleasurable sensations and to be free from the painful sensations. Then we have grasping. So craving increases, it develops into grasping, which means that we are now actively strive to never be separated from what is pleasurable and to avoid what is painful. And then through grasping there are actions, body, speech, and mind, which creates further karma and habitual tendencies, and that determines the next existence. Then is becoming, which is the process of creating a new existence by grasping at the self-identity, and this is based on previous karmas and habitual tendencies. Then you have birth. So birth, the power of becoming, one is reborn in a particular place whenever the necessary conditions are assembled. And then there is aging and death, which is the last link because at the end of a birth there is aging, change of the 5 aggregates, and eventually there is death of the 5 aggregates. So basically these 12 links represent a cyclical process of dependent arising, where each link arises as a result of the preceding one and leading to suffering and rebirth. So the goal in Buddhism is to break this cycle of suffering by understanding and eliminating the primary cause, which is the first link, which is the ignorance of one's own nature of emptiness and selflessness or identitylessness. And that corresponds to the awareness of pure being, which is without identity and is beyond time. Okay, so this concludes the very brief introduction. More can be found in the book. And thank you for listening. Today is all for today.